here on Beadaholique.com. I'm Julie Bean. Thank you for being here with me as we create together. And we've got Michelle in the background helping us. As always, she is so good and such a great resource to have. And she is there to answer questions, provide links, anything anyone needs. She is there along with Thaisa, who is another wonderful resource. So it is a wonderful team we have helping in the background. So we are live on this actually pretty dark day in Los Angeles here, and we are going to be creating designs using tassels. And I've always loved tassels. I don't know, there's just something elegant about them, but also fun. So like it can be elegant and fun at the same time. Oh, and Michelle is saying, do those earrings look familiar? Yes, we made these just, what was it? Was this Monday that we made these earrings? I love them. They're my new favorite. They're those yellow rondelles, which I have a bunch in my shopping cart that I need to check out before they sell out, but I do love them. Hello, Jan and Dee and Kara. Hello, and Chris and Linda in Boston. Hello, and Francie. We are, oh, hello, Monique is here as well. It's good to see you. All right, well, see you, but see your name. It was good everybody is here. So with the tassels, I have a selection, but there are more on the website. So if you guys have been following these lives for a while, you know that Beadaholique is closing. So everything on the website is 50% off, which has its pluses and minuses. The great thing about that is everything that is in stock is 50% off. So like all the tassels that I have today are half off. All the other ones on the website are also half off. The bead selection that I have on my table at the start of the show is in stock and is half off as well. The drawback is things sell out really quickly. So I actually had a lot more beads I was going to show today, and they sold out before I could come here and be live. So I left them off because it's not fun to look at something that's sold out, especially if it's the main component of a project that we want to make. So I did leave them out. Just know that things are selling really quickly. So if you have your eye on something, like I have had my eye on some things, they are selling out quickly at the 50% off. I will keep trying to only show beads and like the focals that are in stock. And I'll try to keep that going as long as I can. I do know that the stock is dwindling. The findings are unfortunately out of stock, and the tools, but I will share any information I can about them, because perhaps you've got them at home that you can use, or we could talk about a substitute, something like that as well. And I know I missed so many hellos when I was saying that. Hello, Rebecca and Marianne, and Dee is here, and Santa Barbara girl, and Valerie, hello. I know there's a lot more. Cindy, hello, and Netta as well, and Kathy. And to everybody I missed saying hello to, hello, good morning. We are here live. It is 9:03 a.m. Pacific time. What is nice about these shows is they are also saved and archived, so you can always go back and rewatch them later. If you want to have an easy access to them, you can share them to yourself using that little arrow icon. And then if you like what you see, you can click the heart icon. It gives little floaty hearts. Everything that I'm going to be working with that is in stock is in that shopping bag icon. So it's like a nice little curated gallery. You can always add it to your cart from that shopping bag. But do note there's other colors, especially with these tassels today. I have a small selection. There's actually a lot on the website. So that's fun. And I know I gave the link for tassels to Thaisa and Michelle as well. Hello, Sue from Wisconsin, and Pat from Georgia. Hello, and Carmen. Hello. All right, I'm going to flip my camera down so we can start to play, and you'll see what I have to work with. I'm going to overview the different types of tassels first, because I think it really helps to see their scale and see what size they are. All right, see, it's gray. We're about to get a rainstorm. I think they're saying around 10 a.m. we're going to get more rain. And oh my goodness, we actually had some, not wind damage, but we had some shrubbery come down in the windstorm 2 days ago. So we've got quite a mess out there to clean up. A bunch of ivy completely toppled off of a sidewall. Okay, so these are really pretty tassels, and they come in different sizes. They come in different colors. And you usually get more than one. I know there are a couple styles on the website that you only get one of, but a lot of them you get at least a pair, if not more. So these were actually in the tassel section, and I think they're really, really cool looking. And you do get a pair of these. And what's nice about them is it has a little hook for you to hang something in the middle. And then it has a hook to hang your earring hook from. Oh, hello, Kathy. And Debbie K, hello. So these are pretty neat right here. I like those guys a lot. And it's kind of like a cascading waterfall feel. So I think they were put in the tassel section because they've got all of this happening. And it's very soft, has a lot of great movement as well. And there's actually two different styles. There's this one, if you see those little like bars along with the little balls. And then there's one which is just ball chain. So here you can see this one too. And so the same idea where it's got the little loop right there so you can hang a charm, another tassel, a bead, whatever you want, and then your earring hook, or maybe this is a focal for a necklace where you could hang a jump ring and then string a chain through it. So here are the two different ones side by side. So you can see what those two styles look like. Then there's also pure chain tassels, and this was in a set. So let's see, it looks like I got 5 in a set. So this is what these guys look like. So it's got like some nice little chains. Now what's cool about these is you can hang something from these chains. So you can have it where you've got little beads, maybe you're putting little seed beads, you're creating little dangles, which could be really fun. You could actually make this quite a bit longer by extending it that way. You can even do some wire wrapping on the ends too, which actually sounds really fun. We might end up doing that, I'm not sure. And then there's these little guys. I think these are my favorite. And I want to say you get 10 in a pack. I think you do get 10 in a pack. And these ones are just a really, really nice size for jewelry making. So these are these great little petite tassels, and you do get a nice big 10 pack. So this one came in silver as well as gold. So you see we've got the silver and the gold available. All of them came in 10. So I picked out the whites because white's a really nice, classic kind of summer spring color. But they also came in blue. A really pretty like periwinkle blue. And this is with the gold cap. So if you like this but you want silver, I would just look up and see if this comes in silver, because I definitely know I don't have all of the colors and all of the finishes here that are still available, which is really nice. So there's a really pretty periwinkle. And then there's a rich like plum. This is another really good color. And this was the one that was going to be the main focus of our project today. But the beads I had picked out to go with this sold out. So I was really bummed because I had some beautiful, beautiful pearls to go with these. So I was like, oh, it was going to be so luxurious and rich. But we'll make do. We'll make another really pretty bracelet or something. So that's really fun. And then there's also gray. And that gray is kind of a nice neutral classic. So that's fun. Oh, Debbie, I like that. The blue would be fun with a denim outfit. Absolutely. The gray would be really good with denim too. So then we've got these right here. And then there's this style. So this is like a cool fan. And mine came like this. I think it got a little squished in the baggie, but they actually ended up matching. So I probably would keep it like that because I like things a little bit different. But I have a feeling you might be able to wet that down a little bit and then just kind of straighten it out. Maybe you put it back in a baggie, but put it in a baggie like this so it holds its shape, and then that would work. But these are really pretty too. I like this fan design. And then I got a couple more to show. Actually, I've got one more to show. Oh, no, I've got 2 more styles to show, and then they do have more variety. So this one ended up looking, to me, a lot more elegant than I thought it was going to look. This one's very thick. So that's something that's not really conveyed on the website because you can't really capture that in a photograph. But this one is super, super thick. And this one does come in a bunch of different colors, I think, and finishes. And so here you can see the pair of these guys. So that would be pretty, just even hanging from an earring hook. I think this is one that I'll just put straight on an earring hook. I don't think I even need to do anything more to it. And then there's these little yellow ones, and these ones have just a little jump ring that's already attached, and you get a set of 5 of these guys. And I think this might be the last color of this style. I was trying to look for some more, and I didn't see them. All right, so those are the different styles of tassels. And so I definitely want to, I'm just going to start right off by putting an earring hook on this guy. So this is so pretty. So this one here has a hoop on it, but the hoop is going this way. So I don't really want to hang it like this because I feel like that's the side. So I want to hang it like this. So I'm going to add a jump ring to it before I put on my earring hook. So I'm just going to go ahead, add a little 4mm jump ring. You can use 21 gauge, 22, 24, whatever you like. Again, I apologize that the findings are out of stock, but 4mm jump rings are pretty easy to find, and then just pick your favorite earring hook. And I'm using gold plated. So we're just going to put that jump ring on there with that earring hook. And I don't think I closed that quite properly. I always struggle with closing jump rings. Even to this day, I don't know, jump rings always get me. Oh, Debbie, I love that. She says, I would glue a small bead at the bottom of the cone and make it a gnome. It would be the perfect gnome. I love that. That is so creative. I love it. Okay, so here is this, and now it's going to sit properly with that nice point facing forward, but I think this is a complete earring. I don't think you have to do anything more than this. You absolutely can, but you don't have to. So this is a fun, quick and easy design, just like that. And then Santa Barbara Girl says glass bird earrings with those yellow tassels. Yes, please, for spring. That would be so pretty. That would be lovely. Okay, let's play with one of these guys now. I feel like we have to do one of these. So these are just so pretty. So I do have these green, because I'm starting to think spring. I do have these beautiful green pearls. What if we try to dangle one from it? Let's see what that might look like. Okay, so I've got one off, and it's that nice kind of crisp green. I think it goes really nice with gold. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on a ball head pin. This is just a ball head pin, pretty common here. I know the green is really nice. So these are check glass. They're not actual like freshwater pearls, but they're really a pretty, pretty vibrant color here. Oh, I lost my hook. And I apologize if I'm a little off today, tired. Twixie, for some reason, decided she wanted me up all night long and just decided she wanted to like bat at me and kind of nip at me. I don't know what had gotten into her last night, but she definitely was something else. So she has had me up since about 1 a.m. Okay, so here we go. And we're just going to make our little loop. And over, and I'm going to do a wrapped wire loop, and then I'm going to connect this with a jump ring. So you could connect it right onto that one little loop that's already there, or you can do a wrapped wire loop and use a jump ring. She did want to play. She was so feisty. She's lounging, grooming herself happily in her bed right now. Yeah, but she was even like tunneling under my covers so that she could kind of nip at my arm. It was very odd. She definitely had some intentions last night. All right, so then I just trimmed it, and then we've talked about this a lot. We're gonna go in and tuck our end by just pinching it. She's such a good girl. It's like I can't even like be a little miffed at her or anything because she's such a good girl. And it was loving. It wasn't harmful. It just kept me up all night. All right, so here is that wrapped wire loop, and we're going to dangle this right in the center using a jump ring. So again, another really easy design to do. And that bead could be anything. That bead could be your favorite fire polish bead, your favorite flower bead, anything that you like can be in there. If you bought those, remember we had those ladybug beads for a while. If you bought a ladybug bead, there's lots of things you could put in here. A petal flower, so many options. All right, so now the only thing I always find tricky is how to get in there to get this latched This is always my challenge here. Because that's a stationary loop and you have a bar that you're contending with. There we go. I'm going to go in here. Carefully do this. Okay, so I might be using the bar. If you can see this right here, it's a little tricky to get in here. I think I'm going to use the leverage of the bar to help me close my jump ring till I get it a little bit more closed up. Ah, don't fall out. And then I'm going to go in with my other chain nose. Yep, that's working. So I used the leverage of the bar to get it a little bit more closed. And now I'm going to set it down here so it's got some stability. And that hopefully just did it. Oh, nope, it did not do it. Okay, remember we talked about jump rings are my challenge. Okay, so that. Okay, and I think I gotta do this sitting down on the table. Oh, we still have ladybug beads? Michelle, can you add the ladybug beads to the cart if we've got any? Because I love the ladybug beads. All right, let's try this again. We have an open jump ring. And we're gonna go in here, but we're gonna sit this down so that we have some stability. And now we're gonna go in with both pairs of chain nose. I'm gonna try to get that shut. All right, I think that's shut. Ooh, that would be, so Santa Barbara Girl is saying it'd be pretty to weave 4 pearls into a quatrefoil and dangle in the loop. That would be beautiful. Yes, I think you have so many options of really pretty things that you could do with this because it's a pretty nice expanse right there. It's not a small space. Okay, and then we're just gonna open up our earring hook. And there's no right or wrong side to this, so it does look really good from both sides. There's not like a side that's flat and one that's round. Ooh, great question, Lori. Do these come in silver? I'm not sure. I think they did at one time. I'm not sure if they're sold out at this point. Maybe Michelle and Thaisa can look that up and see if they are. But here is the little dangle. And you know what I want to do is I know I don't have the best lighting today because it's so dark. But let me just hold this so we can see how it actually dangles there. So that's how it actually sits, which is pretty nice. It's a really nice drape right here. And then let me just really quick hold up this one so we can see how this one drapes. So it's really some nice movement with those chains. That chain tassel is nice. Okay. So I would consider a lot of tassel projects can be really quick and easy projects, which is nice. All right, I'm gonna make one more pair of earrings and then let's make a bracelet. But I have been eyeing these 2 things together. So this was a rondelle strand. So these are a really pretty pale blue rondelle. And then I liked its color match to this one right here. So I think we're gonna just make a classic little pair of earrings. And I do wanna show a little trick here. So if you see the edge of the tassel, sometimes it's a little bit rough. Not always, because like this one here is pretty clean. So just every once in a while you get one that's a little rough. You can just go in with your scissors. Don't be afraid to do this. Just kind of spread it out, hold it, and it's almost like you're a hairdresser. You're just gonna carefully trim the edges, like trimming some bangs. And then you can even it right up, which is nice. All right, and then let's go ahead. We're gonna use some eye pins. So I only probably am gonna need 2. And let's open up this pretty little strand. So hopefully it's not too dark on the screen, but it is really dark here. I'm so spoiled with the nice, always kind of natural light of the sunshine, but today it's definitely a dark day. Okay, so I put 1 rondelle onto an eye pin, and I'm gonna go in with the wire looping pliers. You can use round nose, of course. You just wanna be able to make a simple wire loop. Okay, crisscross, and remove it. So you see we made a nice loop, And these are called wire looping pliers if anyone's interested. They're a really handy tool. I find they make really nice loops that are very even and uniform. Okay, so there's one. And then if you have enough of your wire left over, we can turn that into a second eye pin versus wasting it. Yeah, Dee, I think it is definitely darker. I have all my lights up as high as I can do them, but definitely is a very, very dark day here. Okay, so I made myself a little eye pin, and it's a little bit off, so I'm just going to go ahead and straighten that up. There we go. Now it's straight. Let's do another one of these pretty rondelles in that blue. And we'll make another one. So another little loop. And let's do one more. I always like things in threes. It just is a nice, pleasing combination. Oh, Pat, you're dark there too. Yes, it's that darkness right before it starts to really rain. So I moved originally to Southern California in 2006 from Seattle. I'd always lived in Seattle, and 2006 was my first time moving to Los Angeles, and we moved in the middle of a heat wave, and then it was like a subsequent 10-year drought. I don't know, maybe it was longer than that. So I really kind of thought, oh, it never rains in Southern California, because my first 8-10 years here, it just never rained. It was a severe drought. And so now that we're getting pretty consistent rain, it feels just so unusual. It just doesn't feel like we should be getting it. But I know it's good that we are, for sure. It's just taking some getting used to being around the rain again. Oh, you're getting more snow. Oh my gosh. And so we've got these linked together. So we have the 3 dangles, and now we're going to just put a tassel on. And I think what I'll do is I could put the tassel directly on here, but I think instead of doing that, I'm going to straighten up this loop. And again, I'm going to use a jump ring. I think the jump ring is going to be nice to give it a little bit more movement for us. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see through my screen. It's a little darker too. Okay, so now we're going to pick up a tassel, and so they all have a little loop right there, and so we just need to go through that little loop. And again, this is a 4mm jump ring, so your pretty standard jump ring, and we're just going to put it on one of our simple wire loops and close it. And then on this side, all we have to do is add a earring hook, and we're done. And we could have easily done that with the yellow tassel. We could have done it with any of the different colors. So that just that idea where you make a little beaded link chain and you then add a little tassel at the base is a really classic, easy design. So here we go. So there's our little finished earring with the blue. Yeah, Myra, it just feels so strange to have this rain, and we've had pretty consistent rain. So it's been just so different. Everything is just completely overgrown and soaked out there. All right, so this is really a cute, quick, easy project to do. I use rondelles. You can definitely sub in a different bead shape as well. So let's look at the earrings, and then let's make a bracelet. So we did this one here. We did this little guy right here. And again, any bead could be substituted in there. And then just so easy, although now I really want to make this into a gnome. I love that. But just a really pretty elegant tassel earring. Okay, so now let's make a bracelet using tassels. So I'm going to put some of these tassels aside just so we've got some more room. And I love, love, love this strand of multicolored rondelles. And I'm going to use it, and I'm going to combine it with some tassels interspersed. I think maybe every 3 or 4 beads, let's put a tassel. We're just gonna make a really fun, summery bracelet with some tassels put in it. And so what we'll do, and maybe, let's see, is this long enough? Because I almost just want to use the natural strand. I'm tempted to not even put a spacer or a seed bead in here because that's really pretty just with all that sparkle. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Linda, good question. The gold ones were in stock, but let's hope they still are. I do apologize if anything sells out. I'm really seeing that things are selling out so quickly. So we could also intersperse a pearl. This is a snow pearl. So if we wanted to go really fresh, we could do this. We could intersperse a snow pearl with the shiny rondelle and the white tassels, or we could just maybe put a pearl at the end, just as a little something different. That could be pretty, actually. Let's try that. Okay, so we're going to cut this open. And I love the multicolored effect of this. I kind of want to keep it in its order. And I mean, I don't know if there's really an order here, but I think it's really pretty looking as is. So I just pulled out the inner little line that was keeping it together. And I'm going to cut myself some beading wire. I'm going to use 0.015. I've got 19 strand here. You could use Twix strikes, my 1 a.m. Twixie. You can use 7 strand, 19 strand, 49 strand, whatever you want to use. And then I'll just measure, my beading mat is 11 inches across. I'm just going to measure it to the 11 inches, kick it down just a little, and then I know I have enough. Okay. Oh, Santa Barbara girl. Okay. I'm sorry that happened. That's good to know that, that someone did that. Yeah, the internet is a crazy place these days. Definitely, it's hard to know what to trust and what's happening for sure. Okay, so I put a little bead stopper on it, so that's easy. So if you're not familiar with stringing, this is a bead stopper. I always think of it like a little accordion here. And then I just put it right on the end. And Mary Kay, I did miss your question. I'm sorry. If you wouldn't mind restating it. I only can see about 2 comments at a time. And then they disappear and I have to then try to scroll through them to catch up to them. But if you don't mind reposting it, Mary Kay, I would love to see what it is and answer it. Okay, so again, I'm going to use the little 4mm jump rings and I'm going to preload a couple tassels onto them. Okay. And so just put that through there. Yeah, I think every other bead being white is going to be too much. I think what I'll do is I kind of want to just put the white ones at the end near the clasp. I think it'll be a really interesting little look if I do that. Okay, so I've got that jump ring on here, but it's not closed properly. I'm seeing that right now. Jump rings are not my friend today. Come on. Looks better. Okay, let's do another one. Maybe we could put a bunch of tassels or we could put like 3 tassels. Okay. Okay, that one goes better. All right. I know, Santa Barbara girl. I think this thing I'm having a little bit of a struggle with is they're kicking out to the side a little. And I think the reason they're doing this is the 4mm might be a little small for this tassel. I'm almost thinking this little expanse right here is too wide for a 4 millimeter. So it's making it a little hard. I would bump it up to a 5 millimeter jump ring or a 6. Oh, okay, Mary Kay. I was taught using 49 strand making my jewelry. What size and is the stringing wire? Okay, great question. So this here, what I pay most attention to for me, what I use all the time is 0.015. I find that a nice medium weight in terms of the size of the wire itself. And it works with the 2x2 crimp tubes that I really like using. So regardless of the strand, I always make sure for myself personally, and everyone is different, I use 0.015. So then after we've kind of decided what size we're going to use here, then you talk about strands. So there is a huge, huge price difference in the strands, the spools with the different strands. There's 7 strand, which is usually under $5 for a spool. There's 19 strand, which I want to say is in the $12 to $16 range for a spool. And then there's 49 strand, which is quite a bit more. Not everybody's budget accommodates the 49 strand. The higher the number, usually like the more pliable and drapey it is. Now, you don't always necessarily need that really soft drape. Like we're going to make a simple little bracelet. I think a 19 strand or even a 7 strand is totally okay. And that can help to extend your beading budget if you aren't having to buy the 49 strand spool each time. But it's personal preference. Some people exclusively use 7 strand. Some people exclusively use 19. Some exclusively use 49. And it's kind of what works for your beading and your budget. There's also something to do with the strength and the size of the beads and the heaviness of the beads. So if you do have really, really heavy beads, you might want to go up to a 49 strand and look at its breaking point too. And look at what its recommended weight is as well. So there's lots of different factors. A lot comes down to personal choice and budget. So I often use 7 strand and I'm really happy with it, especially for bracelets. I do have this 19 strand here that I really like as well. And I think it's very soft and drapey with a 19 strand. So hopefully, Mary Kay, that answers the question a little bit. And then there's different brands. I really like Beadaholique, but there are different brands out there too. They do feel slightly different, so you kind of get a feel for the one you like. The one thing I will consistently use though is always this 0.015 because I want it to match my crimp tubes. I really like the 2 millimeter crimp tubes, the 2x2s. And so I know that fits this really nicely and is very secure. So hopefully that answered the questions a little bit. Yeah, and I do think the 4 millimeter jump ring is a little small on here. I think I would definitely bump it up. I want to see if I have one off to the side right here that's bigger. Okay, I have an antique brass that's bigger. I've used Soft Flex in the past. I haven't used it in a while. I like it. I think I just honestly get into the habit of reordering the same thing, which maybe isn't the best habit, but I like Soft Flex. Soft Flex is nice. All right, this is a much, much bigger jump ring. I just want to see if it goes through easier. It's much thicker though too. Okay, so that went on really easily. And it's going to close up really easily. So yeah, I would go up a size on your jump ring for those little tassels. I would do at least a 5 or a 6. So yeah, I like Soft Flex. I like Beadaholique. I feel like I've had a lot of success with a lot of the different beading wires. I will say I am very passionate about, I only want to ever use a crimp tube
versus a crimp bead. I do not like crimp beads. Crimp beads I find are very frustrating for me. They slip around more in my pliers, and I feel like I don't get as secure of a crimp. So I will say I definitely have an opinion on that. But no, soft flex is very nice. Beadalon is very nice. And then, yeah, just whatever your personal preference and your budget is for your beading wire. Because there is a huge difference. There is a big price difference. All right, I'm putting these bigger ones on here. They're probably a little too big, and they're actually an antique brass, but they are definitely going through it much easier, much more easily. Okay. Oh, Santa Barbara girl, yes, magic crimps do work. I have used them, and you have to have the special pliers because you have to have the magic crimp pliers. It took me a long time to get them to work right. So I will say that they work, and they're really pretty neat because they turn into like a little ball. But it took me some effort to be able to actually do it the way it was intended to be done. All right, so I am going to start with a crimp tube. So, it's got one off to the side here, just rolled under my beading mat. And put this on. There we go. Oh, Cheryl, yeah, I think you'll have a better experience with crimp tubes. Yeah, I really don't like crimp beads. I know everyone's different, and you know, if someone loves them, go with them, and if it works for you, that's wonderful. But I for sure just they frustrate me. I will say that. All right, so I have the little white pearl on here. Oh, you don't need a special pair of pliers. Oh, that's interesting, Santa Barbara girl, for the ones you've got. Because the ones I had, it was like a whole set. It was the magic crimps with the magic crimping pliers, and they did work. It definitely worked, but I had to go through quite a few crimps to get the look that I wanted. Okay, so I'm going to do, here I've got one white pearl, and now I'm going to add a tassel via its jump ring. So we have a little tassel on here now. And Monique, that's great advice. Try them all until you find the one that works best for you. And I think that is the best advice for jewelry making and beading. Just because something is someone else's favorite or works well for them, don't feel obligated that has to work for you. And don't keep, if it's frustrating you and you're not having fun doing it, don't keep going at it. Like try different things until you find something that really works for you. All right, so I'm trying to do this because I know I'm going to get stuck where these aren't spread out evenly. So if I want to bead about 6.5, 7 inches, so that's at the 1.5 mark. I would do one at the 3, one at the 4.5. Okay, and then we'd go to 6, and then maybe I'll add a couple pearls. Okay, so we're going to have 3 of them on here. I think that'll be pretty. We'll do 3 of the white tassels on here. So this is actually going to come up a little bit more. All right, I'm going to adjust this design as we go so that we can have 3 tassels on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to add some more. So maybe these will we're going to spread these guys out, and then we'll adjust. It's kind of a making as we go item right here. So I'm putting 6 on here, and then I'm going to put this guy on. So here we've got the tassels, and of course you can make this a necklace too if you want the tassels to be on a necklace. And then let's do another 6, and then see how many we have left. I think this might have been a 25 bead strand, so we might just leave one off so we're even. And then I do need to go back at the beginning and add another one because I did not have that even. Okay. All right. And then taking my stopper off, putting it over here for a minute so I can fix this side. So I have 6, 6, and 6 over here. All right. So this is what we've got. So we've got our tassels on here. So I have 6 of the rondelles, a tassel, 6 more rondelles, a tassel, 6, a tassel, and 6 more. And then what I want to do is I want to add these white snow-colored check pearls to the sides to give me my desired length. So let's see if we want to do like a 6.5 bracelet or inch bracelet. I think we're going to do maybe 2 pearls on each side. Let's try that. And then that brings the white from the tassel into the bracelet design. Okay. So here, so I'm just going to do it like this. So it's a little bit different. So you could put the white pearls in between as well, but I thought it'd be kind of fun just to try a little something different where the whole bracelet is the sparkle. And then we just have pearls up at the clasp area. I like that. It's a little different and unexpected, but definitely feel free to add pearls anywhere you want. And then this is already a little over 6.5 inches. So if we're going for about a 6 3/4, 7 inch bracelet, this is going to be good. Oh, thank you, Lori. All right, so now I'm ready to do my finishing. So I'll go ahead and put a bead stopper back on one end so I don't lose everything. And I had a magnetic clasp somewhere on this table when I started today. Where is it? All right, did it get, so if you're looking for magnetic clasps, sometimes if you can't find them, check to see if they are stuck to any of your tools. So sometimes they are. And, oh, Linda, yes, I will for sure. I will add a photo of this if we get to finish making it, because I don't know where my clasp is. All right, where is it? So it's not stuck in there. So does anybody with really good eyesight see a little gold magnetic clasp anywhere on this table? Because I don't see it. And I know when I go to clean up the table, I will probably see it instantly. But I am not seeing the little gold clasp. All right, where is it? Because I know it was here. It was here. Okay. Oh, hey, found it. The one tool I did not check. So, yep, there in my little stowaway. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, so what we're going to do is we need to add our crimp tube again because I took it off. And we're going to do this. Why don't we put on, I've been really enjoying thread and wire protectors lately, so I brought some out. These are wire guard thread and wire protectors. They go by a couple different names, but they're really handy and they just are a nice professional finishing touch. So you just go up through, they're like a little horseshoe. You go up through one channel and then you go back down through the next channel. Okay. And then your wire just sits in there and it protects it from rubbing. And we're going to now take that and go through the little loop in our clasp. Okay, and then, so you see how that's latched on there? And then we're going to go through our crimp tube. Come on. Okay. And then I always pinch my thread and wire protectors because I feel like that's a pretty large expanse. So I pinch them a little bit. And then I just want to make sure I have enough to crimp. Okay, so we're going to take our good old standard crimping pliers and these are going to stick to it. I know that, but we're going to work with it. Okay, And then separate out your strands so they can go into 2 different channels. And squeeze. And so now you see how we've got 2 separated out strands. And then we're gonna just go in here, do our finishing, and it folded over. Okay, and then I think I'll be able to get my strand through this pearl. Sometimes the check pearls are a little hard to get your strand back through for the second one, but it did, it went right through. And you could put a crimp bead cover on there if you wanted to. All right, so one side is done. We're just gonna go do the same thing to the other side. Okay. Oh, Hannah, I have done that too, where I forget to put the, where I forget to put the clasp on before I crimp them. I have done that too, plenty of times. Okay, so here we go. We got that other crimp tube on there. We got another thread and wire protector. Okay, and we'll now do we'll try not to do what we were just talking about forgetting to go through your clasp. So now you go through the other half. See, they stick to everything. They really do stick to everything. All right, so we're gonna go through the other half of our clasp. Come on. Okay, and let that go in there. Okay, and now we're gonna go down through this. Oh, yes, Valerie, we can see you. I'm sorry if we missed any questions. I definitely tried to get to as many as I can, and I know Michelle and Thaisa do as well. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is, again, I'm gonna pinch that together a little bit just so it's not so spread apart. And then I have this already in its rounded shape here. So that's good. So then I know it's not gonna be too tight, but I am gonna kind of fiddle with my beads because I don't want them to be too stiff. And so we're gonna just make sure that this is a nice soft bracelet. I made a bracelet for a friend once and I didn't take that into consideration. And I saw her really struggling to put it on and I felt so bad because I didn't really think about, you know, that it needed to still have a lot of movement so that when you're fiddling with it on your wrist, you can get it on and off. Like this might actually be a little too loose. I maybe left that a little too loose, but it'll be okay for this. But it is kind of that fine line between you don't want your beads loose and your wires showing, but you definitely don't want it stiff either. Okay. Oh yes, French wire is great. I have used it. I know Deb Floros loves it. It serves the same purpose as the thread and wire guards. So basically it's protecting your stringing material from rubbing and excess wear and tear, is also giving a really nice professional look to your finished piece. And I love French wire. French wire is great. I definitely recommend it as well. Okay, so here you go. And then the wire guards is when you buy the thread and wire guards or thread and wire protectors, they're going to list the size beading wire that goes through them. So like, I think mine listed like 0.012 to 0.019. And again, that's this number right here. So if you're looking at one that says like fits up to 0.019 and you're using a 0.015, you know you're totally good to go. There you go. Oh, I like that. Santa Barbara girl saying if you have too much space, you can put a dangle near the clasp. That is a great idea. So French wire is a little more delicate than the wire guards when you first get it, I would say. I feel like once you have it on, I don't find it to be too much more delicate because it's actually like a coil sleeve that's going over your wire. It's like a spring, but it is very delicate in its package before you cut it and apply it to your bracelet. I feel like once it's on your bracelet, it's okay. But yeah, the actual French wire itself, it just in its container is very delicate because it can be pulled out of shape or it can be kinked. So, All right, so there is our finished design. And again, the white pearls I put up near the clasp, but you could put them anywhere. You know, feel free to intersperse them every 3, every 5 beads, whatever you like. So that is our finished design today. That was fun. All right, so I hope, oh, thank you for the hearts, guys. All right, and I hope we got to everybody's questions. I'm sorry if we missed any, but thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Susan J. All right, I'm gonna flip the camera up. It looks like we made it before the storm hit, so that is good. And I'll post photos of these to the Facebook group, so I'll do that. Oh, thank you, Santa Barbara girl. I'm really liking, I have made lots of complicated designs in my time, but I am loving kind of the simpler, like we've talked about this before, the instant gratification, it not taking days or weeks to do, that you can finish it in one setting. I'm really enjoying those designs a lot. Oh, thank you, Mary Kay. Okay. Oh, thank you. All right. Okay, put it on. So here is what it would look like on with those dangles. And they're going to kind of flip here, there, and everywhere. And this is actually too big for me. My wrist is a little bit on the smaller side. So this one is a little bit too big for my wrist, but it's just kind of a fun, pretty bracelet. All right, I'm gonna flip the camera up. And, oops, sorry, you're just seeing my ceiling. All right, thank you everyone for joining me today. Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely, Melissa. So for sure, you guys are more than welcome to share these designs, to share the design you make with it. Of course, absolutely. Oh, thank you, Francie. All right, have a great rest of your day, everybody. It is already Thursday. I can't believe it. So I will see everybody on Monday. So have a great rest of your day and have a great weekend. Bye.